Hello, Tom, my fellow presenters, and those viewing from all parts of the globe. I'm happy to be presenting again at the opening session of the Algae Biomass Organization's signature event, the first virtual Algae Biomass Summit. I'll be sharing what I consider to be the critical lessons I have learned along the way. The algae business has many fundamental issues in common with any business. However, the differences with algae business are hardly ever taught in a classroom or textbook. I hope to fill some of those gaps. It would have been nice to know a lot of this instead of learning the hard way. To LLC or not to LLC. Choosing the business structure lays the foundation for everything else. It determines all subsequent plans, policies, systems, etc. What business structure should you use? How does structure affect taxation? What legal reporting obligations does each structure have? Sole proprietorship, partnership, limited liability company, corporation, or joint venture. Corporate governance. Poor corporate governance can weaken a company's potential, can lead to financial difficulties, and in some cases can cause long-term damage to a company's reputation. A company which applies the core principles of good corporate governance, those being fairness, accountability, responsibility, and transparency, will usually outperform other companies and will be able to attract investors whose support can help to finance further growth. Legal considerations. These govern internal and external factors. For example, licensing, contracts, non-disclosure agreements, terms of service, privacy policies, company operating agreements for valuation, transfers, ownership, structure, etc. Internal policies such as compliance with statutory requirements, intellectual property such as patents, trademarks, copyright, trade secrets, and legal action such as lawsuits and injunctions, either as plaintiff or defendant. Laws governing business operations such as employment laws, OSHA, taxation laws. These are all quite important. Finance and accounting. Finance typically focuses on planning and directing the financial transactions for the company, while accounting focuses on recording and reporting on those transactions. Parts of finance and accounting include business plans, financial plans, income statements, balance sheets, statement of equity and equity changes, cash flows, budgets, use of proceeds, accounts, bookkeeping, controls for accounts and bookkeeping. Attracting investments. Not an easy thing to do. Investors hardly invest in companies that aren't already making a profit. But you cannot attract investors without good corporate governance, without the right corporate structure, without proper legal systems, or internal finance and accounting systems and controls. Key components for considerations include pitch decks, projections. What types of investment are you going after? Equity or debt? Convertible notes? Have you done a fair market evaluation of your company? Are you going into the capital markets? What is the cost of capital? What is the burn rate that you have? What are your exit strategies? And my favorite, free money or non-dilutive finance, if you can find it. Then there's the human element, perhaps the most important yet least controllable factor in success. Ensure that your employment manuals and policies are thorough, and also ensure to get buy-in of your vision, mission, and core values. Your people can make or break you. The unknown unknowns. Think COVID-19. None of us were prepared for that. But in the algae business, there are also emergent problems when you're scaling up from lab to field. Technology issues, process issues, changing legislation, changing policies, new barriers to trade in algae products or services, whether they be tariff or non-tariff barriers, public perception and acceptance, competition, who's doing it better, faster, cheaper. All of these you will not know until you know. Following will be some industry considerations for investors, associations, academia, governments, and entrepreneurs. Recommendations for investors. Many founders don't know how to run a business. Many founders should not be running a business. All algae business opportunities are not the same, so they should not be judged on the same basis, nor by past failures. The industry requires patient capital. Overnight success never happens overnight. Be a strategic partner, not just an investor. Mentor, guide, facilitate based on your business acumen, on your expertise, your experience, your capabilities, and your networks. Learn algae basics. Forewarned is forearmed. Less disappointments, less gullibility. Can algae really do all that we say it can? Absolutely. Will it happen overnight? Absolutely not. For industry associations, if you charge a fee for membership, then you must deliver value for that membership. Lobby on behalf of the industry. For example, the Algae Biomass Organization spends a significant amount of time and resources to achieve industry facilitating legislation, policies, and funding. Visit their website to learn about the Farm Bill, the carbon tax credits, the proposed Algae Center of Excellence. Join and tell the ABO what you need to help your business. I joined in 2013 and made my voice heard, and I'm seeing the benefits now. Provide business resources to algae companies. Links to marketing, research, legal, investment, etc., specific to the algae industry. Conduct algae industry workshops for more interactive learning experiences. Change public perception and raise awareness of the algae industry, its benefits, value, and potential. Provide specific support and opportunities to small and startup algae companies. The folks who start up with millions of dollars of investment don't need this as much as the little guys. Facilitate data and information sharing. Establish databases and clearinghouses. Create mechanisms for information flows between and among academia, industry, and government. Develop incubators and accelerators with mature industry players. For academia. Academia is mostly where new ideas, science, and technology originates. But academia is also where we train the next generation of workers for the algae industry. Training individuals how to think is more valuable to the algae industry, especially when dealing with emergent problems or unknown unknowns. Develop curricula. Collaborate with businesses on the areas of research. Promote public-private partnerships. Establish industry advisory boards. Encourage your students, technical majors, to take entrepreneurship electives. Educate, educate, educate. To governments. Facilitate algae entrepreneurship through legislation, policy, and public spend. Stimulate and incentivize private sector engagement and investment in the algae industry. Level the playing field for algae. Treat it the same as fossil hydrocarbons or renewable energy. Fund innovative applications of algae. Increase funding for research, development, demonstration, and deployment of algae biotech. Recognize algae's ability to fix the problems we know exist and those we can anticipate. Act now. And most importantly, don't politicize environmental issues. And to the most important folks, the algae entrepreneurs. Unless you have the capital to support the foray into biofuels, don't. Figure out your unique selling proposition first. Profit is not a four-letter word. Be the solution to a problem that a lot of people want solved. Hire the best people and stay out of their way. Cash flow is king. Get to revenue and profits as quickly as possible. Don't overpromise and underdeliver. Hype kills. Have a business plan and be able to articulate your plan. Establish good corporate governance, transparency and accountability, compliance with regulations, and communicate with your stakeholders, clients, regulatory agencies, and the general population. Avoid undercapitalization. Know what it will cost to get to profitability and secure that capital upfront. Practice ecocentric business. People are not separate from planet. Network, network, network. Reinvent, innovate, adapt, learn and evolve. No man is an island, and don't cling to a mistake just because you spent a lot of time making it. Market and sell. They are not the same thing. And finally, in closing, the algae industry doesn't have much of a science and technology problem anymore. It has more of a business problem. Getting from experiment to income streams must be the focus. Don't give up. I end with references on the last three slides. I thank you for your attention and look forward to your questions.